Hey friends, I'm Robin. Thanks for joining me today. And we today are going to handle my cup cabinet. My kids have all said, yes, mommy, please fix it. It's a mess. So I'm calling it the Cup-tastrophe cabinet. Welcome to today's mess. Let me tell you what's going on in here. We have this cabinet. It is several shelves worth of mess and stuff. And what happens a lot of times are like my kids are needing these cups, but they're on the top shelf because they didn't used to use those cups. But guess who's using those cups now? All the children. And now they can't reach them. So I need to handle what's going on in here. I have some different shelf risers that I'm going to trade out and see if those work a little bit better. Okay, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take everything out. I've been really thinking about this cabinet for probably truly months. It has been months. And I have been kind of watching the way my family uses this cabinet, what's been working, what's been not working, and who needs access to what. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take everything down. I'm going to sort things out. I know for sure these two baskets do not get used a lot, so they do not need to live in this cabinet. I'm probably going to have to move these shelves up and down. I know there's one more little hole that I can move this whole shelf down, and then I'm going to kind of play with what needs to go on that bottom shelf. Because what I've discovered in this time are these Tupperware cups up here. And my kids use these pretty frequently with the lids. And so I need to have a spot for the lids and the cups that are a bit more easily accessible and aren't falling on them every time they get into this cabinet. So this is like a Tetris game that I have not solved. And I can tell you I've definitely reorganized this cabinet at least 2 or 3 times. And I know it's not working. And so I've been thinking about that. I've got some ideas of what I'm going to do today. So stay tuned. I'll be reporting back with some updates along the way. The first step is, do we need everything in this cabinet? And that's what I'm going to be going through. I know for sure there's a couple of like random little shot glasses and things that I definitely haven't used, don't need. So I'm going to go ahead and pull those out because I know for sure that I'm not going to need them. And while they are super cute, and one of them says, I love you to the moon and back, because I do, and had a supplement that I used to take, and I'm not needing that, and I don't need those cups anymore. And if I do decide, I've got these stackable ones that I can use instead. So I am going to keep these ones and get rid of the other ones that I don't use as much and I don't need. So that way also these can double as like ketchup containers and things like that. I like to call them ketchup kebabbers because I don't know, I like the alliteration. So I'm going to go through this cabinet, see what I do not need, do not love, and then I'm going to organize the rest, because the first step in all of that is deciding what you're using and what you're not. There's no sense in organizing clutter or stuff that you're not using. And if I'm not using it in this cabinet, it's time to go. Now that that part of the journey is done, I am going to wipe everything out and start to kind of plug and play. I've got some different shelf risers that I was showing earlier. So what shelf risers do, if you've not used them before, is they allow you to put them in to be able to better utilize the lower and the upper space. So like this shelf is really great, but I think I'm going to move this shelf down. I'm going to kind of plug and play a little bit, figuring out what my children need the most access to, which is typically cups and bowls, and then what can go on higher shelves than that. Because at this point, I really need to think through functionality. Who is needing access to what? So one of the things that I teach my clients and friends is that whatever the high real estate space is, the stuff that's easiest accessible, that's what you want to have your most utilized items in. We use daily bowls and cups the absolute most. And so I need to think through what cups, what types of things are we using? And then I'm going to kind of plug and play and move the shelves around and see what I can come up with. It took me a little while to figure out what was going to work well. I ended up moving the shelves both down a little bit and decided that the cups that I use the most for either shakes or on the go, coffee, hot drinks, whatever, those were stuff that I was the only one using. So those are going to go up there in a basket. We're going to give this a go. I've got a couple of larger cups that I use for water and stuff that I'm the only one who uses those. And that way my kids can get the access to the cups that they use. And then also some of these other lidded cups that get used pretty frequently. So we're going to give this a go. I've decided to leave the bowls there, the cups that get used every day. I've got a bunch of cups that are in the dishwasher, so I left room for those cups. So I'm thinking that this is what's going to happen. I decided not to put in that shelf riser that I was talking about because it just didn't really feel like I could put it on the top shelf. I'm just not sure that that's going to be like, there is extra space left, but I'm not sure that there's anything else right now that I'm going to utilize in that space. So I'm going to live with this for about a week, see what the compliments and complaints are from the Fam Bam, and then we'll see if there's anything else that I need to change. So I'm going to put this organizer and a couple other things in like a box that will be near here, so that if I need to change something, then it's handy, and then hopefully it will only be the top shelf if I have to make any changes. So I'm pretty confident. I'm hoping that the kids will not call this the Cup-tastrophe cabinet anymore, and that we can successfully load, like get the cups and the dishes and then unload and put them back away easier, and it will be more cohesive for everybody. So I'll keep you posted.
You know what's really fabulous about as you work your way around your kitchen and then you're like, got a cabinet that's working and or think it's going to work, and you're like, oh, but if I took this from there, that could work better. This, my friends, came out of a different cabinet in the kitchen, and I know this is really like a water bottle holder, and I had done this cabinet recently, and I was like, yeah, these water bottles, these little thermos thingies, whatever they're called, cups, could really greatly go on this thing, and I could change the sizes and the height, and like this could work really swell. So I think I'm gonna do a little switcheroo here. I'm gonna move some of those cups down, and I'm gonna I think I'm gonna put them on here, put this up there, maybe move that shelf over. I don't know. We're gonna try this out. This is super exciting. These actually fit perfectly. So I can reach like on my tippy toes. I can grab these out pretty easily. And then if I need a certain basket, I can grab those out. I've got the certain water bottles and things that I don't use as frequently up on the top shelf. The kids don't really use any of that stuff. Again, they're using everything that like is down here, and that's working really well for them. And that I literally could not have planned any better. That is amazing. All right, one last section to work on and I'll be back. Okay, friends, I have just realized with moving these things around and reorienting them, I'm like, oh, I forgot I have this basket and then this basket and then this other basket for the hubster. And now I'm like, dang, maybe I need to downsize some of these bottles, because I use a couple of these like shaker things for different things. And when we have the RV, I usually have like one in the rig and like two for home. So I have 3 at home right now. And I'm like, am I going to use all of these? I don't know. So I'm going to think about that for a hot minute. And then while I'm thinking about that, I've got these that I use, these little hydro flasks very specifically for like when we travel. And I'm wondering, do I need these in this space? I don't know. I also have this shelf that I took out, and I could put it on top. I just don't know if I really need all this in the same space. So I'm going to ponder for a minute about that. All right, friends, I have made a decision. I'm going to get rid of one of my shaker cups because I like that the other two match. I'm actually going to move up this cabinet shelf one because I discovered this morning as I was doing the dishes that these cups, I'll show you here, hold on. All right, these cups, when they are all stacked, I am like a smidge that doesn't fit. So I'm gonna scoot this shelf up one, and that should help with this. And then I can squeeze one of these other cups that my kids will use right next to those there. So those will all fit on the same shelf. So I'm gonna work on that, and that will solve that. And then I'm gonna kind of monitor like what are the kids using, what are like what's working and what's not working. And then if I need to downsize a little bit more, I can always grab them out of the cabinet. Hey friends, I'm back. I have, I think, revamped my cabinet where the cups go, the Cup-tastrophe cabinet, if you will. And I think I'm actually happy with it because I was fussing with it yesterday and I was like, I'm not loving this. It's just not working. I don't love it. So I downsized a couple more cups because I got really real with myself. And I was like, Robin, are you going to use these? I don't know. So one of them was a shaker cup. I have 3 of them. Normally I keep 1 in the rig and 2 at home, but that's not happening right now. And we're not using the rig right now. So I can make a decision at that point. These, I have 2 of these really large cups, and normally I would have a big cup of water, maybe put a hydration drink in there or mix up like some coconut water and something. And I was like, you know what? I have 2 of these, and I have a lot of those, do they call them tumblers, like the metal thermos type cups that have lids. And I really like that because sometimes I spill things or I slosh them or I'm moving quicker than I think I am. And apparently I spill things sometimes. So I decided I don't think I actually need these glass cups. I really like those ones. I like that they have lids, and I like that I can put the straw and the straw stays put. It's all about functionality and what you're using. So I'm going to show you what the final verdict of the space is. And I think I think the whole family's gonna like it. This is like a zone for the hubster. He is gonna want everything that's on that shelf. And then the kids usually first thing in the morning, if they want a cup of milk, they're typically grabbing, and I haven't measured like ounces or whatever for these cups. They're probably not far off, but basically they're gonna grab for the first shelf of cups. And then as the day goes on and as these get emptied out, then they'll go to the second shelf. But Hubs is going to grab definitely for all the stuff right there. So I think he's really going to like having everything that he uses on a regular basis, like right there. The other thing that I did up here is I finally decided I am the one that uses pretty much everything that's up top. So basically, if I want a quick shaker cup, I can grab that in the morning, or if I'm grabbing a to-go coffee, or if I want one with a handle on it, because these have no handles, those have handles. I know everybody's got their opinions about whether handles or no handles. And then also, does it fit in the cup holder? Which car am I driving? And so sometimes I don't want to think about that. So I just grab this one because I know it fits in all of them. And sometimes I want this one because it is easier in one of the other cars. So that is working out great for me. And then here is my daughter. This is like everything that she uses. And I did actually want to pull this down and show you. I don't even know. It's like a little tiny organizer tray. I'm not even sure, honestly, where I got it from. But it fits all the lids perfectly. And then her cups that she uses. And then sometimes she wants different cups depending on where she's at in the house and what she's up to. And she can pull the whole basket down. These are a couple more of those tumblers. And I decided for my water that I get ready usually. So I remember I drink at least my 1 cup of water. Anybody else love AirVenture? Got that in 24. Love my cups. I also like that I have color coded. So I like a white one, a red, a blue, and a black one. So I know whose is what cup. It brings me joy. Anybody else color code their family? Just me? Okay. Anyway, so I have a couple of those so I can grab those. And then on the bottom, this is pretty much all stayed the same. I've got the cups and the bowls and everything that's working here. So I am really pleased with the way this cabinet has turned out. And I'm really, really pleased with, I think, what's going to be the functionality. So I'll report back and let you know if the family has complaints. All right, until I report back, ta-ta for now, as Tigger says. And I'm pretty happy. I've been really thinking about this cabinet for quite a long time. And I think the functionality is going to work well for everybody. And, you know, the real trial is the process of everyday use. Does it stay maintained? Do the kids have complaints and say, Mommy, this isn't working? And I'm like, I know, I don't know what to do. So I think this is going to be great. We've got a kiddo who's out and about right now, and he'll be home, and he usually drinks at least 3 cups of milk a day. So the question that I have is, are the cups going to stay intact? Are the systems that I put in place here in this cabinet, are they going to be functional for 3 kids who get their own food, who make their own stuff, who do their own thing, and then also are emptying and loading the dishwasher? Like, it's not just me. If it was just me, it would be no problem. But I'm thinking about other people who have different habits and different rhythms than I do and get food at all different times of the day. And so, I'll have to report back here in a week or 2 and let you know how it goes. Stay tuned. Friends, I am happy to report that it has been longer than not only 2 weeks, it has been longer than 2 months, and my cup cabinet has stayed intact. I am absolutely thrilled because not only are my children, as well as myself and my husband, able to find everything they need easily, everything is getting put back no matter who is doing the dishes, and that is a big win for our house. I hope this video is an inspiration in your organizational journey if you also have a Cup-tastrophe cabinet. I'm cheering for you, friend. You've got this. I'm going to side quest to a story because I love stories. One of my first flying jobs, I got to be a production test pilot on the Cessna Skycatcher, and these are 2 patches. This was on my flight suit, and then this was from the Cessna team. And I loved being part of that program. This was some of the promotional material, and so I have it in my cabinet. So when I open it up and I see it, and it brings me so much joy. And it just reminds me of all those days of flying and being up early and watching the sunrise and the sound of airplanes and just the crisp mornings. And it was an amazing job. Unfortunately, they stopped making the airplane. And so, of course, I lost my job and was laid off. But it was just an incredible time in my life. So that's really fantastic. And then the other little story I want to share with you, these are some of my 99s friends from my Kansas chapter. And Mr. Don, he has passed away now. He and his wife are just an instrumental part of my life for many years. Bonnie, she still lives back home. Auntie Dawn, Phyllis, all the peoples. And so I just have so many fond memories of opening up this cabinet and just the things that bring me joy of flying, and then my Kansas friends, and then just people that have inspired my journey and been just part of my life for so long. So if you don't have anything inside your cabinets, I encourage you to do something that makes you smile every day when you open them up, because whether you have a Cup-tastrophe cabinet or not, it's just fun to open up your cabinets to see beautiful people, beautiful faces, and lots of smiles. Thanks for watching. If you appreciated this video, give it a like and make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can catch the next video as soon as it comes out. If you're ready to schedule your free 15-minute consult, check out my website, bgbarnstormer.com, for details. We'll see you next time.